December 2019, a historic day in American history because I have had my very first apple grilled cheese sandwich, and I gotta tell you guys, it was fucking amazing. Nothing else is happening in the news, so that's good.
Okay.
I'm Dolly Demofsky. We're back on Twitch, second week in a row. Second week in a row of me saying I hope this works. Joining me is the return of Rexley, Peña Florida. Hey, it does work. I see it's on there. How's it going, Rexley?
Hey, good. How are you? It's I don't know why you're eating apple grilled cheese. That just sounds.
I was out with. We had kind of a post-work little holiday get-together with current and former employees, and I was hungry, and I decided to get. They had like grilled cheese, and I'm like, I'm 8 years old again. Let me get a grilled cheese sandwich. So that's what I had. And also joining us, the one, the only, the wonderful bearded JJ.
It's getting out of control. I do need to trim it up, but it's there.
I think it's pretty awesome. And I think when you do the Neidhart, the Jim D'Angelo Neidhart. That's pretty awesome.
Exactly, yeah.
You gotta get the glasses that are really tight. Like the sunglasses are really tight to your face. Like
There's
four
not
sizes too small.
I just don't think I could do that much cocaine to do Jim Neidhart.
I hear you. How you guys doing tonight? You guys doing great?
Yeah.
Fan-flippin-tastic.
Getting ready for the holidays, aren't we?
Woohoo, yeah.
Good Lord. It is crazy times right now, I'm telling you. This is...
And when you say holiday, you mean new Star Wars Day. Right?
Exactly. Happy Star Wars Day. Oh, after this is over, I'm watching Mandalorian Day. That's what apparently...
I watched that episode today.
There's a new episode today. Yeah, they pushed it forward. So I'm looking forward to jumping into that after this. So if I disappear or if I cut this podcast early, you'll know why. So that's where we are right now. We are in the pre-final Star Wars movie stage of our careers. I saw the do you guys see the Watchmen tweet where it was it's brilliant.
So on point.
May 1983, I'm in the theater watching the final Star Wars movie. May 2005, I'm in the theater watching the final Star Wars. Really well done. So that's it. Nothing else is going on. It's been a crazy week. I'll say this.
Absolutely nothing has happened today.
Since the Game Awards, nothing newsworthy has really happened. I mean, Grand Game Awards were on, Thursday? The Drunken Game Awards were on Thursday. By the way, I've made it out of the pantry, everyone, for those that were worried.
Have you... I'm assuming you've looked at your tweets afterwards.
Oh, my Lord. That was... it was pretty funny.
I'll say this. It wasn't as good as last year's.
No. I have to look at my tweets from last year's.
Oh, you went on a bit there.
Did I really last year? Holy cow.
I think so, yeah.
I'll look this up.
Yeah.
This is my job. Pause the podcast and
good radio. This
is real good radio, everybody.
I like how when the Fast and the Furious kind of segment came up, you actually put "Wow, this looks bad," but you spelled "Wow" like it's World of Warcraft.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true. That is also bad. Oh goodness. Yeah. This year's show didn't have very many great moments, or we didn't have very many great reveals. It was kind of so from an actual, in my opinion, from an actual show standpoint. Mm-hmm. The Xbox sex was pretty interesting. Sorry, Series X was kind of the big one.
You know what you were doing.
I knew I was doing. They know what they were doing.
And now they have the audacity to say it's like, no, that's just the Xbox. It's not.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with this. Well, let's get in a little bit of the news at first, and then we can talk maybe later on what we've been playing. Xbox Series X. Actually, you were about to say.
No, I would just kind of go along with that. Apparently, this is from Game Informer yesterday, actually.
Good friends at Game Informer.
And they're reiterating something that Microsoft told Business Insider. They said the name we're carrying forward to the next generation is simply Xbox, and at the Game Awards you saw that name come to life through the Xbox Series X, unquote. So it just seems like anything past Xbox is just whatever at this point.
Yeah.
So
I think it's smart to just call it Xbox. I'm playing Xbox, and I think I think there was good conversations over the last few days of people saying, well, look at like TVs. You're buying, when you go get a Sony Bravia, it's not like the Sony Bravia Hyper, the Sony Bravia, the Super Bravia. No, it's just Sony Bravia 2019.
Yeah. Grandparents have been calling it the Nintendo for 30 years.
Exactly. And in fact, didn't a lot of people say that the Switch should have just been called the Nintendo? I mean, that was like a very simple...
I mean, yeah, if you're over something.
Exactly. Okay, boomer. And I'm fine with it just being called the Xbox. And I totally get what they're going for. Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, or the X Series or the S Series or the B Series, or they may make a mobile version later and call it the M Series. I think the issue is leading with the X name and even the S name, which they're going to get later on, when there's already an Xbox One X, right? So you're going to have the first couple years. The first year is going to be a little bit confusing because there's the Xbox One X.
In order for it to really work, it would have to be like a TV where it's like, well, now the Xbox One X is just not available. So when you go into a store and buy an Xbox, that's all that's there is the Xbox.
Yep. And I think that might be what they might have to do is take all those Xbox One X's that are. I mean, they have to get those off the shelves, which is
especially if it's fully backwards compatible. What's the point? Like at that point, So and sell them on your website for a discount or something.
And that may be the way to do it because that's what all the companies do with TVs. Yeah. And moving to that, I think, is actually very smart because you can go in and you'll get just say, I want the latest Xbox, and you don't have to worry about the latest Xbox One or the latest Xbox X, or I want the latest. You'll have a powerful version, which is the X series, and you'll have the regular version, which is the S series, and so
I find that we're comparing it to like TV branding and serials. Considering that when they first unveiled the Xbox One, if you all remember that, someone made that super cut of like the announcement for it and how many times Don Matrick said TV, TV. And now they're trying to like position it as this thing that's supposed to be like, yes, it's a game console, but you know what? It can totally replace like your DVD player, your cable box, everything. And you've seen over time that they've kind of strayed away from that and they've kind of focused on just the games, which is great. But it's just really funny that we're coming like it's almost like full circle, right?
Right.
At the end of its life, we're talking about it, comparing it to a TV line.
It's just for kind of the initial thought process looking at that design. That's a big ass tower. Do you see IGN did kind of a mock-up of that thing? Just looking at if that disk drive is a typical Blu-ray disk drive, that's that slot you see on there. And it's if you just consider a cube around that slot, and then you have like 2.5 of those stacked on top of each other, that's ginormous. And I mean, even if it's like laid on its side, it's still a huge, huge beast. And so, but one thing I do kind of understand with this thing is don't look at it like a Blu-ray player or a game console. Look at it like the Amazon Echo style or the Apple HomePod. It is that tall cylinder, and I think that's what they're kind of going for. And it's rectangular because the box is in the Xbox name, but it really does kind of feel like they're going for something that may have. I would not be surprised that if that top glowy part is a vent / speaker.
Oh yeah.
And then you have Cortana built in. You probably have Alexa built in. I just say Alexa, buy diapers. Built in.
No, stop! No, I'm kidding.
Right. Alexa, play Christmas music.
It's been happening, man. It's been happening.
Oh, Alexa, no! I just set mine off. Oops! It heard me from all the way over here. Holy crap!
Telling you, man, that thing is.
What did you think was? Yeah, it knows exactly what you're talking about at every second.
The other Papa Jeff is listening.
Alexa, stop! Holy.
I can't tell if this is actually a bit or like it's actually
happening.
Get a copyright strike for
but I think that is going to be a big part. You're going to have audio built in because if you can sell this device as being the premium home, this is the entertainment device that you need. This is your CD player, your music streaming, your video, your gaming. it's meant to replace all of those other things. I think you can actually pull it off now. I think the rest of the market has caught up to people having so many devices in their house that, hey, what if we just jammed them all into one now? So you don't have the echoes everywhere. You don't have, home pods and blah, 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 blah. Sure. I suddenly think this could be
not having to plug a Connect in to have a microphone.
Yes.
To turn your TV on.
So the more you think about it, it's like twice or three times as powerful as the 1X right now.
Yeah, sure.
So everyone's thinking, it's going to cost like $800, $900. Look at how much the Apple HomePod costs. That was it's like $400 or something.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's like $399, or I think it was even more at one point. It was like $499 at one point. But you get some of this other tech in there, and I still think $800, $900 is way too much for a gaming device, considering everybody still has all those other devices. But you link it so that this becomes that kind of central home thing. Again, at first, I was thinking, what the hell are they angling for? This looks like the weirdest gaming device on the planet. And then the more I thought about it, this could be the one device that you actually need in the home. And it's starting to look
it's going to be what was to the Wii U, where the Switch is clearly what their idea was with the Wii U.
Yeah.
This new Xbox is clearly what their idea was for the Xbox One. Like, to actually be a device that is easy to just plug in and have it be the center of your entertainment center.
Yep.
So
I think suddenly it's really cool. Suddenly I'm thinking it's got a speaker. Yeah. Okay, this is total conjecture because we haven't heard anything about it. But if this is the direction that Microsoft is going with their Xbox,
it's just going to be an Xbox One X. None of this stuff's gonna happen.
Literally. Now that's my other issue. If it's just a gaming device, and it carries that same X name, because this will be the Xbox X2. It's like, wait, was the other one or this is the Xbox X1? But wait, what about the Xbox One X? No, this is the X1. The other one was the One X. Got it.
I can see them sticking with this and going Xbox Series X, right? Then the Xbox Series S, and then you get the second iteration of it, that's the Xbox Series X V2 or something like that.
I sort of envision a yearly thing. So it'll be like, this is the Xbox X20, the Xbox 21. They may start like that high up and pump one out every year or two.
Hopefully they don't go like the EA 2K route where it's like the year after.
Oh god, yeah.
So it comes out 2021, right? But it's the Xbox Series X.
No, they'll do 2K that.
2K22 or something.
But they'll totally do that. But go ahead. Were you gonna say something, JJ? Were you about to say?
No, I was gonna say.
No, but I can see them selling that, like selling it in November every year, a new one, and then it'll be for like they're gonna sell it in 2020 as the Xbox 21. Next year, you're buying the 2021 version of the Xbox. You're not buying the 2020 version.
At some point, they're going to introduce like Apple Care Plus situation where it's like, and every year you just get an upgrade involved in it. And
man.
Well, that's what they were. They restarted that with the Xbox.
With the
So then, this is damn. We're creating their market plan for them, their product plan. You pay us, Mr. Spencer. We've deduced what the Xbox One is.
Phil, I could use a move to Seattle. Like,
I still think it could have been a really cool design visually, but
I think it's weird because like there's always like concept art or whatever leading up to it, and you're thinking like, it's gonna be this crazy design. Like the one we've seen recently, the rumor going around is like that weird V1 for the PS5
the flying V,
kit.
the Roman numeral 5 pizza holder.
Right, and so like you always think like, it's it's going to be this thing that's like this crazy design or whatever, and at the end of the day, it's like it's always a box. It's always some like 4-sided thing.
Yeah,
that is either like the PS5 or the PS5. The PS4 was like, it's a rhombus. Like, but it's still a thing that has 4 sides. It still looks like a box. It's just angled a bit weird. So I guess, it's still a box. It checks all the traditional console requirements. The only difference is it's now taller than it is. Instead of wider, it's now taller.
Mm-hmm.
It really is like everyone got out the dev kit and decided like, hey, watch it. This is we don't. Let's just push.
You're breaking up on us, JJ.
Yeah, you're breaking hard there, JJ.
They heard you. You're so close to Microsoft's home base that they're cutting you out. But no, you're right. It seems like they just threw walls around a dev kit and stuff. But I'm curious now. This is the X series. What the S series will look like. The S series might just be a pure gaming device. No built-in speaker. No. It might not even have like a Blu-ray player built in. It'll be cheaper because it could be streaming and download. Sort of like an Apple TV an Apple TV 4K. So that could be your cheapo $250 or $399 device is just the S, the cheap version, and then your expensive has the Blu-ray, has the speakers built in, has all that other stuff. It's gonna be real interesting.
I could also see them like downgrading that GPU for it.
Yeah.
I mean, like that was the big difference, right? It was like with the PS4 and the PS4 Pro is like you'd see upscaling to 4K on the PS4 Pro end, but you didn't see that in the regular PS4. Even perform like not just in like overall image quality, but also like frame rates were drastically better on the PS4 Pro as opposed to the PS4 regular one.
Sure.
So I could there's so many ways that they can like, I don't know what the word is, like they kind of like downgrade it so that it's the more affordable. Maybe they even remove, I don't know if this is even a thing because I don't really know hardware as much as I used to, but like I don't even know if they could probably remove the backwards compatibility version of it. If that's a thing you can do, I have no idea. But there's so many ways just to downgrade it so that it's more affordable.
I think that's because the Wii did that, right? When they dumped the GameCube compatibility in there, and then wasn't it there because the early versions of the Wii you could still play GameCube games, and then sometime halfway through the console's lifespan, they said, "Hey, we're gonna try to squeeze some more bucks out of this guy, the margin, and dump the GameCube compat." So I can see that happening with the downgraded version. Although if everything's streaming, they don't really need, you don't really need to do a lot. I mean, I think the modern, the PS4 and the Xbox One are already close enough to PCs that there's not going to be an issue with the backwards compatibility or forwards compatibility anymore.
Sure.
So it's going to be, I'm much more literally talking through this podcast. I am way more intrigued about the X series as a product whole than I had leading it. The name is still get all dumb, but whatever. Give me the R for like race version, like the sports car version. Give me the M for like the cheap version. I'd be all set.
This is the auto designer, and you just wanting to come out.
Totally. But there we go. So that was
the S.
That was fun. I didn't get your guys. Rexy, you experienced my malfunction live during the Game Awards, but JJ, you didn't get a chance to hear me kind of lose myself Eminem style throughout the podcast. What of the Game Award? Did you end up watching the Game Awards?
No, I had no need to watch it for myself. I know what was going on. I read everything. That was good enough for me.
Yeah, that's true. Anything stuck out besides the Xbox news?
No, that was kind of uninterested. I'm excited vaguely for a Fast and the Furious game, but just because I'm obsessed.
You're the
with
one.
Yeah, it became a joke. Me and my cousin went to go see the first one, and we've seen every one since.
Oh, geez. Okay.
And like it was a point where I came home one day and there was like a can of NOS energy drink on my porch from him. It's just like it's a running gag between us, Fast and Furious stuff. So a video game is just okay, I'll play it. It won't be good, but I'll enjoy it. Still.
I'll wait for the Hobbs and Shaw spin-off version. That'll be
that'd be kind of good.
Yeah. Oculus, Hobbs and Shaw game.
Yeah, I didn't. There were a few. It's actually a couple cool announcements if you're a Switch fan. I thought with No More Heroes 3, the actual date, and then Bravely Default 2.
Marvel. The Marvel DLC being Phoenix based is very interesting to me, but like it's not an exciting news story.
Yeah, it's not like big news dump, but I think they had a few. The Wolf Among Us 2. I loved the first one, and I'm very curious now that it's under like the new Telltale that's coming to all the consoles at some point. They never gave a date for that.
Did you see they're re-releasing the Batman game?
Yeah, that's
as like
kind of wild.
The new art, the new arts noir art style or whatever. Like that's.
But that's still a rumor, right? Like that wasn't like.
No, it's on their website.
It's on their website.
Okay.
Now. Yeah, they officially confirmed it like a day or two ago. So this is I think what's interesting with this one is that, and I read this somewhere, I can't remember where, but Telltale had those licenses, right? And the Batman license, I think, was one that they kept. They lost a bunch of licenses. Walking Dead is no longer theirs. A couple others, but they had like Wolf Among Us and Batman because they're both DC comics, right? And they need it. It's kind of like they had those licenses, and you almost have to put something out to maintain the license every so often.
It's the Fantastic Four movie.
Exactly. It's the Sony Spider-Man movie before the MCU stuff. You have to put something out, otherwise you lose it. So I think this might be a similar case here with those two because Telltale no longer has a Game of Thrones license. They no longer have a Marvel license, but they do have the DC license, and they got to put something out.
I'm going to assume they don't have the Jurassic Park license.
Yeah, probably not anymore. Yeah.
But like apparently this one, and I mean this is more obvious than not, but like I remember seeing a tweet about it right afterwards, when they announced the return of the Wolf Among Us. That it seems like the old Telltale guard didn't even know about it, so it seems like a completely new like team that's in charge of it. I think they're I don't know if they're using any of the old material or if they're just doing their own thing, but that's probably worth noting. So if like people are really curious about it, like just like FYI, it's not.
It's not what you think.
It's not. Yeah, it's not the Telltale you know and love. It's a completely different group that just so happens to own Telltale.
Mm-hmm.
Or Telltale's assets.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of interested in that. Like I said, I like the original one. It's good to see Telltale come back again. We knew the drama behind all that and how but we'll see how that all pans out eventually. Let's see other news. Yeah, like I said, good for Switch fans. The Switch is, if the games that they announced at the show were the kind of the secondary games, Bravely Default 2 and No More Heroes 3, and both those are coming in 2020. Bravely Default 2 doesn't have a date, but I'm gonna assume it's probably tail end of 2020. I'm thinking Nintendo's. Well, maybe we'll do our prediction podcast, the week between Christmas and New Year. But I'm thinking Nintendo is going to have another pretty solid year of games coming out. They did just announce the Luigi's Mansion DLC, which is all multiplayer stuff, so it's not anything I'm super interested in. But you have Animal Crossing coming out and a few other, that's it. That's all we know of. But we know that there's, they're going to drop some big games on us.
There's still the Zelda, the sequel to Breath of the Wild. There's the Metroid game that they had to basically redo from scratch all over again.
Sony's got a bunch of stuff that's coming for the PS5. I know Ghost of Tsushima got their launch date ish, which is summer. Summer could be anywhere between June and May and September. I'm actually guessing that the game will launch the week before E3 or the week of E3.
I could see that. I was thinking the same thing, and I feel like at E3, they'll reveal the PS5 and then say, "Oh yeah, Ghost of Tsushima will also get like a PS5 port."
Yep, or an upgrade if you have the game.
Yeah,
they'll do it with Ghost of Tsushima and with Last of Us 2. If you have the game, don't worry. It will be, it'll work with a special port upgrade on the PS5 or something.
But only if you have the digital copy.
Only the digital copy. Yeah, exactly.
Oh man,
yeah, that would be. And then you had Senua's Saga, which is Hellblade 2. I have yet to play the first one. I'll get to that eventually, and then Godfall, which was I think that was the Gearbox.
Yeah, the Gearbox one.
Yep. And that was kind of it for some of the bigger announcements there, but it's that was the Game Awards.
Sober eyes,
What's that?
Looking at all the announcements with sober eyes now, isn't it?
I'm like, oh yeah, there really wasn't a ton of stuff there.
Well, it's funny because like I'm trying to think of like anything we were doing like that was too reactionary to to what was going on, and nothing. I mean, there wasn't anything you were even freaking out in the slide. I mean, I know you were really happy with Bravely Default 2 coming out or coming soon. But yeah, there really wasn't like
mind blowing.
I still once in a while I'll pull up the one we did from last year just so I can hear us freaking out about how Joker shows up in Smash.
Yeah,
because that was insane. No one expected that.
And here's another thing: there is one more fighter in the Fighter Pass.
Yeah.
For this, they haven't announced. I thought that would have been announced at the show because Nintendo, Smash Brothers won like 2 or 3 awards.
Yeah, everyone thought they did. The internet was a mess after the Game Awards was over.
Yes. Yeah. What's also kind of interesting was Death Stranding not getting the Game of the Year, but going to Sekiro. Which, well, I haven't played Sekiro, so I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna bash or anything. I don't know enough about it. I don't know how it relates to Control or Death Stranding or anything, but that was a shock of a win, just because Jeff Stranding was that was the game. The whole every category was a Death Stranding thing. But yeah, that was a big interesting drop there.
I've played some Sekiro. Okay. I haven't finished it, but I'll say of the I can't call them Souls game, but I'll just throw them in that bucket. That one felt, at least for me, that initial the first few hours of it and getting around to getting used controls and mechanics. That one to me felt like the one I would play the most, just because of for some reason when I played it I felt more kind of confident and more familiar with it than I did playing any of the Souls games or Bloodborne, whichever. I know everyone loves Bloodborne, but I can't. I've definitely tried to play Bloodborne so many times, and I hit that same wall and just whatever. And I'll be the first to say it's not for everyone, but if you like it, you like it. But I think any other year where there wasn't as really diverse and noteworthy games in that same category, I just bought Control, so I've yet to play it, but I know visually it just looks fantastic. I'm still on my very slow Death Stranding playthrough, and I there's never been a game where I've been more excited of delivering things. That's it's I'm not I love Metal Gear, and I don't think I don't think of myself as a Kojima fanboy, but I think this is great.
So
I know it's very contradictory.
Speaking of Death Stranding, I haven't cracked open my game yet. However, I'm kind of glad I didn't, because Redbox officially announced that they're no longer running games, and it's $25 at Redbox.
No way.
So I'm totally fine playing a used version of this game. I can return the copy that I have, get all my money back from Best Buy, and just pick up the version from Redbox. So nice. I think I might do that tonight at some point.
Yeah. Speaking of games on the PlayStation, we saw that thing today with the PS4 getting its or is it yesterday or today getting that backwards button.
Yeah, the paddles. Yeah,
which I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest.
The back button. They called it first of all. They call it the back button.
The back button,
which is it's grammatically completely incorrect. First of all, it's more than one button.
Yes,
it's back buttons. Second of all, back means to go back, not on the back. So this would be the button on the back, or the buttons on the back, not the back.
The rear buttons.
The rear buttons. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. And I mean, controllers clearly are trending that way.
Yeah.
This PlayStation 5 is probably going to have that built in some way, shape, or form, right?
Which is kind of a bummer, because I know everyone loves I'm bringing it up here. I don't know how much everyone loves this Xbox controller as is, but the reason why, and I'm about to bring my other one here, the reason why I love this the DualShock 4 is because it's so thin, it's so slim, it's it's all the buttons are there in the right place, and it's it doesn't like take up too much space. With that, I feel like you're just adding more fluff to it that you don't really need.
I have that Astro C40, the big expensive
Yeah.
PlayStation 4 one, which is basically what they're trying to turn the DualShock 4 into.
Yeah.
And it's a much beefier controller. It's heavier than the DualShock 4. And the buttons are kind of the back buttons are kind of in the same place as the back button put it. And it doesn't work with that sort of form factor of the DualShock 4 because I'm constantly accidentally hitting those triggers. I don't feel like I'm constantly hitting the 1X, like the Elite controller ones as much.
You're gonna be doing the was it the 3DS claw? Remember, you guys remember playing Kid Icarus where you had to like hold it really weird just to act?
I still hold a claw like this when I play sometimes on like.
Yeah, do you really?
Even on when I'm playing just some random game, I'll have a claw. I'll end up getting into that claw position again. Yeah. But yeah, like it's, I don't know. I'm still wondering like, and now that you kind of said it, JJ, it's because it's probably because of they're trying to compete with like Astro.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Scuff just got bought by
and Scuff got bought by Corsair.
Yeah, Corsair. Yeah. Who's building an empire now? That's for
sure. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Sony should like try to throw their hat in that ring and just let other people do it. I don't know. Because you're already selling a headset, you're selling Move controllers still, you're selling a PSVR,
Yeah, like Sony themselves advertised that Astro controller as sort of
exactly.
Yeah. So like you don't need to do that part of it. You're having these other people do it for you. So just releasing this peripheral at this late stage.
This may be the time of. I mean, that may be exactly why they're probably thinking we just got to get a little bit of extra cash flow going through us to tide people over until the PS5. Just release a bunch of peripherals. You're gonna get like the new PSVR headset, a different headset. You'll get like a.
The third version of it.
The third version of it. There you go.
Boy.
You'll no, I mean like I'm sorry, headphones. You get the headphones for the PSVR. Just the clip-on headphones. You'll get you'll get back buttons on the Move controllers. You'll get I think you'll probably get a bunch of stuff like that. That's just
I'm amazed that they never like redesigned those Move controllers. They left them as is. Like, no, this is perfect.
You have what do they call it? Like micro USB and mini USB. Like the mini USB is on the Move controllers, the micro USB is on the PS4, and they both function off the same. It's weird. You have to have like different USB cords for everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Well,
I'd be interested. Speaking of it, sorry, if we're going on there, going on that, I'd be interested if they do like a USB-C thing for
the new controllers
for both PS5 and Xbox Series X.
I think you'll get USB-C. Yeah, I think that's everything. Freaking Nintendo has USB-C now for like 3 years with the Switch.
The Elite 2 is USB-C.
Is it? Sense. Okay.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
So. And that's it. It started.
It started. And it's got the cool little charging base.
That's right. You got one.
There you
nice.
go.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I need to get me one of those. Actually,
I
like the weight and heft of those.
It actually has thumbsticks that are identical to the 360 thumbsticks, but they just shaved the nubs that were on them. Those little like raised dots on them. And you can set the tension on it. So when you set the tension to max, it is the exact same tension and thumbsticks as 360.
Oh, that's awesome!
Nice.
So
that's awesome.
It's the only way to use it. Yeah.
A lot of people have like shoe walls where they have like all their shoes on shelves and stuff. I want to do that with game controllers and just have a bunch of game controllers.
Oh man,
I have a bunch.
I have everything. There's nothing like I love.
I'm staring at my Virtual Boy controller right now, which is nice.
I'd do the same if I didn't throw all my controls
my
against
Virtual
the wall.
Boy's just out of frame.
See, mine, the ribbon is loose on the my Virtual Boy that connects the like the eye parts to the rest of the mainframe. So it'll snap on for a second, it'll turn on for a second, and then it blinks out. Like the picture will blink out. So and it's like $100 to get that fixed. Meanwhile, you can actually still buy a Virtual Boy that works for like $110. I'm thinking, do I want to fix the ribbon or just buy a new one?
You might as well just fix it because, like, I mean, unless you don't have any sentimental value towards the current controller.
Not at all. I have it because it's just an icon of a bygone era that Nintendo finally brought back up as a complete inside joke in Luigi's Mansion 3, which is
nice.
Yeah.
It happens.
That happened, and that's basically there is like I'm looking. There's like nothing else. You want to talk Fortnite skins? That's how about let's see here. You can log on and see your Nintendo Switch stats for the year. I mean, that's basically there's nothing going on news wise. Right.
I feel like Game Awards like the last big thing of the year,
and
then everything else just gets pushed.
And it came. It was a year later too, right? The Game Awards. So it was, or I'm sorry, a week later than normal.
A year later.
Yeah, the Game Awards. The 2019 Game Awards were a year later than 2018. No, it was a week later than normal.
Yeah.
So it was. I think that's the way it is. But yeah, there's nothing else.
That's how it's just the way it is at the end of the year.
We can get into what we've been playing at least. Chat a little about that. What have you guys been playing?
Death
Stranding. So you talked about how you love delivering mail to people.
I know it's crazy now because like I'm trying to find many ways to not advance the story and just try to get as much extra stuff as I go. Because like
I'm in the exact same place with Death Stranding right now.
Okay.
Dude, I can't. I hate backtracking. That's just
Me too.
Yeah.
I hate in any game. I hate backtracking.
Yeah. So if I can get all the stuff done before, instead of having to go, because I don't know, will they let me come back? I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I like backtracking in like a Metroid game because I like filling in the map.
Yes.
That's about the extent.
Yes.
Like there's a map in the corner that I see myself slowly filling in, and sometimes that involves me going backwards, and I'm okay with it when it's there. But when it's an open world game with backtracking, it adds such a level of it makes my brain work in a way that I hate. And
do you guys like? Are you guys like me in that you have to clear every icon off the map before you?
Yes.
And then when new ones like you clear one and like 3 others open up, you got to clear the. Okay. Yeah,
There's
I can't.
Unnecessary anxiety. Like I don't know. What if I get something really important? Doing this? That's going to make everything so much easier.
Right. That's totally right.
And then it's like, wow, why haven't you finished a single Assassin's Creed game? Man, I don't know. I put in 120 hours into Assassin's Creed 4, and I only got through like the first, half of the game. Why?
I've got 300 feathers, but I finished 2 missions. So
I'm the same way with. I actually finished the storyline for The Witcher 3.
Okay.
And then started one of the DLCs, but then I fell into that trap again. It's also that same reason of filling in the map is also the reason why I never got past the first 3 hours.
Yeah.
Or supposedly is the first 3 hours of Dragon's Age Inquisition.
Okay.
Because they made that first section of the hinterland so huge, and then everything else, because I remember pushing through it because people were telling me just get out of the hinterlands and just keep progressing. And every map afterwards didn't feel as expensive. So going, okay, then was there something in the first one that I completely missed that I should have brought with me? Is there is there a reason why it's this is smaller? But
it's I can't I don't know, and it may be just like growing up as a JRPG guy where you just grind a lot, and then when anything pops up you're like it's a lot of fetch quests, and it's kind of ingrained in my system, and that's how I kind of treat any open world game now.
And some of those old games were broken in a way where if you did something, there's a very good possibility you're locked out of another mission somewhere.
Totally.
Like they kind of don't do that anymore, but my brain ain't gonna break.
Well,
that.
I played Fallout 3. I started Fallout 3. This was years ago. Fallout 3 when it first came out, was it like 2009 or 2010 or something? And it kind of fell off my. It was just taking forever. It was like I was already in hour like 80 of Fallout 3, and I feel like I hadn't gone anywhere because of that stupid me trying to open up everything and clearing everything out. And I'd put it aside, and then finally when backwards compatibility came to the Xbox One, and I threw Fallout 3 in there, and I thought, holy shit, because that was like one of the first games announced. I'm like, holy shit, I literally had like the game is only like 8 or 9 hours. You can like zip through Fallout really quickly. I cleared it out. I was literally at like the 2-hour mark of the story portion of the game, but I had put like 60, 70 hours into the game doing every stupid side mission. I plowed through those last like 4 or 5 hours of the game. I'm thinking, what the hell was I doing this whole time? I've got to stop doing that.
It's like apparently, and I know because this is another reason why I stopped playing Breath of the Wild because I wanted.
Yep, me too.
But it's like everyone's like spending all this time and then they finally go to the end and they're like, wow, that was an easy boss fight. I'm like, yeah, because you spent like how long getting every single thing.
I've got to get back into Breath of the Wild.
By the time you get to the final boss in Breath of the Wild, you have a leveled up Master Sword and 800 hearts and infinite stamina. It feels like it's like I'm a god in this game now.
And then he's just the easiest boss. Like, it's like, oh, okay, yeah. I have like 3 lines of hearts that just fills half the screen.
By the way, did you guys see the Nintendo retweeted this? Actually, I think Nintendo UK did. Somebody had figured out how to like kill a golden. What do they call those? Leo or whatever they call it.
Lionels.
Yeah, Lionel. Yeah. One of the golden Lionels with just a bunch of boomerangs. Like they were, they were falling, like they were kind of parachuting and whatever, and launched a couple boomerangs and just kept. Oh no, maybe it was Ganon. Maybe they defeated. I forget what it was. They just launched a bunch of boomerangs and kept hopping out of the way, and Ganon got just completely smushed because you just see like a billion boomerangs floating around and destroying. I'm like, this is awesome.
It's like the thing with chickens,
Yeah. The game continues to reveal just the stupidest bonkers way for people to break it. But so Death Stranding, Death of the Wild. Death of the Wild.
Death of the Wild.
Just call it what it is. Building those bridges.
Death Stranding PC people mod that.
Yes. Oh yeah. That's coming next year, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
There you go. Death of the Wild. Holy shit. That's the title of this episode. I'm writing it down. Death of the Wild.
The Legend of Dolly. Death of the Wild.
What are you? What else have you been playing?
That's me. JJ, you been playing?
JJ?
Oh, I have Fallen Order, Star Wars.
Okay.
I need
getting ready for the movie.
Apparently, I'm missing out on that.
It's really good.
Yeah,
like it is.
Nice.
It's the kind of game that I like. It's kind of a dumb action game in a lot of ways.
But sometimes that's all you need, right?
That's all I need. I mean, this is a guy that absolutely adores like the game Stranglehold. Like sometimes I just want the John Woo game where you can slow motion shoot dudes in the dicks is a fantastic video game. But it's the same way. Like I get to use force powers. I get to throw my lightsaber around, and I get to do. And it's kind of open world, but not really. It gives you the choice, like at the beginning. It's like, do you want to go here or do you want to go here? And they even tell you in the game, probably going to be a little hard if you go here. Like, well, I guess you're going to get here eventually. But like, okay, so I'll just slowly make my way there. Well, I feel because the combat is a little bit like that sort of. People want to compare it to Souls, but it really is like a Soul Light because it really is a lot of like lock onto like a boss fight is lock onto the, heavy opponent and just sort of dodge and attack, use your force powers and just keep going until it's over. Like boss fights are like, especially when it's like Inquisitors, spoilers. They go for a while because if you're not great at video games, like someone like me,
as well, same here.
Yeah, you can be just sitting there having like a 10-minute boss fight because you're just like cautious, you're pacing around, dodging everything until you feel comfortable attacking and stuff.
But I guess that's really fun though, right?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm really, really genuinely enjoying it.
There you go.
And it's got and the cast is pretty good. I mean, it feels like a Star Wars story. It feels like one of those, like an episode of Clone Wars or Rebels or something. It's like an extended version of that.
Which I still need to watch.
Oh, yeah. Those are great, very awesome binge-worthy shows and shows you can have in the background too, which is nice.
I did see the movie. The Clone Wars movie?
Yeah.
Which is the best of the prequels.
Oh, man. But so then I asked a buddy of mine at work who's seen it, who loves the series. And I was like, hey, so I just finished the movie. And I was like, okay, so like anything I need to know before heading into the series? And he's like, no, I'd suggest to get a viewing guide and like see the ones that actually do matter and skip the rest. Because apparently some of those are just a lot of filler.
There's a lot of filler.
Kid-centric stuff. And so we'll see. I probably won't have it before Thursday.
You're also collecting lightsaber parts throughout this.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, that's dope though. But see, that's
so like every time I might find a workbench, it's like, well, I'm changing the lightsaber just a little bit this time. You barely see the lightsaber, but
yeah,
they also let you use the lightsabers. That's also your flashlight, which is a really cool.
see,
idea.
like
that's cool.
See, that's
touches.
You go into a dark cavern and you just push like the shoulder button, and he holds it up like it's a glow stick or something, and you're just wandering around in the dark. A lot of little touches to make it feel like that's what you would do with a lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
Who knew that simplicity would be the really the best thing to happen to a Star Wars game?
Also,
you didn't have to go all the way top.
Also, unfortunately, I got an Oculus Quest within a few days ago.
Oh yeah. What did you play? Vader.
I finished part 1. See episode 1. I'm in the middle of episode 2.
How many are there?
3.
3 episodes. Okay.
3.
Okay.
They like all a couple hours each or so, or something like that, or
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been enjoying it. It's actually really great.
Awesome.
But I got that new Twisted Pixel game, Path of the Warrior.
Oh, cool.
And the tagline is like fight your way through the streets of Rage City.
Jeez.
Lets you know knows exactly where you're at.
So
it's a street fight. It's a final fight of your way through the streets of Rage City. Yeah.
Yeah, it is 100% a VR Streets of Rage.
That's cool. I can dig that. Yeah.
It has that sort of, the entire thing has a 90s aesthetic, neon, all of that stuff, and you're just in a VR world punching bad dudes up. You're like you're finding food and eating it to get your health back. You got special moves.
Punch bad dudes in your final fight on the streets of Rage City.
And you can, if you daze them, you can pick them up by the lapels and throw them into a jukebox or an oven. And if you throw one of them in, the first time you throw one of the bad guys into an oven, a cooked turkey comes out that you can eat for health.
Wow!
Wow! I just
holy cow, cannibalism! Oh my lord! The connotations are insane in this game.
And it's Twisted Pixel, so it's got their sense of humor throughout the entire thing. So. They know what their aesthetic is, and they go for it. And
so you said you got the Oculus the Go
Quest.
Oh, the Quest. Okay, so that's the one that you can get the cable to hook it up to your
if
PC.
You get you can. They're releasing a cable, but if you get a USB 3.0 C cable,
that'll work. Okay. Yeah. I was looking at that because they actually had them the last couple weeks. They've been on and off some really nice sales, and I need a VR. I need a new VR headset because I've plugged my PSVR into my laptop here and there, and it sort of works. But not really. But sort of, not really. But I've been. I want to get something because I just don't have a powerful enough laptop to do much. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm gonna do next. But
I'm still with my Oculus Rift here.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. The OG.
It's the first time I've used the controllers that they have.
Oh, the new controllers.
Yeah, they just updated it so you can use hand gestures on the main menu.
Oh, yeah, that's only
so you don't need the controllers.
Okay.
But you can't when you go into anything, it's you need controllers now. And so you could just.
I am looking forward to it. I mean, the only ish I have with that is that your hands kind of have to be in a certain zone, right, for those controllers. And I'm when I've done a lot of VR work. Just for the office, we have a nice VR system set up over there with the Vive. I'll have my hand over here, and I'll have stuff over this way. And I know that you can't pick that up unless you have towers, and so that's what kind of keeps me from getting a Quest and a Rift, and the Vive, Cosmos, whatever, because I need those towers to get full room VR. Yeah.
Mm. What? So actually, this kind of reminds me. So I know. The Vive and the Valve Index isn't the other side of it. They have those base stations that you can they easily are you can look on corners of the room. But I know with the Rift and the Quest and all the other stuff, sometimes they have, or at least with the Rift, at least you have those towers. Actually, have one here. But this is just sitting on my desk, and it takes a lot of space. I actually went to an old coworker's house maybe a few months ago. He actually did this really cool thing where instead of leaving it on the table, he actually apparently this stuff you can unscrew it and you get half of the rod that still has the sensor. And so he bought this basically what is like made for like light bulb fixtures and just put them up on the ceiling, and they acted as the base stations. I was like, that's actually a really good way of doing it, because you still get the effect of the sensors, but you don't sacrifice like surface area for it.
Yeah.
That being said, the way that my PC is positioned here in my desk, like I'm still having to deal with a really big long wire.
Yeah.
So playing Beat Saber is kind of cool, but then you kind of notice that you're like, oh yeah, I'm knocking over this wire. I gotta like fling it all over my shoulder.
Yeah.
And
I got Beat Saber for the Quest too.
Oh, it's so cool. Fun. That's gotta be awesome wireless. Okay.
Because I had it on the PS4, the PSVR. And I was like, boy, this is great, but boy, this cable sucks.
Yeah.
And they just recently added 360 mode, I guess.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Which is too much for me. I can't, especially when there's no cables. You kind of, now you're not tethered to anything, and I don't know what I'm going to be hitting.
Right.
So,
fair. That's totally fair. But you should get the mods.
You get the mods
for the the one that lets you because I have that, and there's a lot of songs people like, and people just so happen to make them for Beat Saber. They're not really well. Unfortunately, they're all on either hard or extreme difficulty, so I always have to turn on
it's
no fail mode.
Rock Band, when people were making their own Rock Band and Guitar Hero music back in the day, and they were hacking them, and they were just bonkers version of songs that nobody could finish.
Yeah, no, for sure, and that's what it is. So
cool, man, cool Beat Saber. Anything else, JJ?
No.
Cool. You guys have been. You had a nice full buffet of food, and it's not even the holidays yet. I've.
How about you, Dally?
I didn't even talk really during the last week of what I've been playing, which is still the same junk I've been playing, which is just chipping away at Pokemon, chipping away at. My goal was to complete Luigi's Mansion before the Game Awards. Did not get that done. Things got kind of again. I was hoping that last week and this week would just be chill mode at the office and at home. But it hasn't been that. We've had crap hit the fan in a couple instances at the office, so I've had to pull a couple later nights that I want to. But Monday and Tuesday of this week, I thought I got nothing to do. I'm gonna take my my boss is gone. Hi. I'm gonna take my Switch with me, and I'm just gonna play games. And if anybody needs me, I'll just sit at my desk and play Switch, because there's 3 people in the office this week, and I'm quite literally there to answer the phone in case anybody calls. Well, people called on Monday, and I had to answer the phone, and then I had to make a big 2 big presentations, and then the same thing happened yesterday, and today I've been working from home, but I've been more doing doing some personal stuff. But yes, I haven't had a chance to play much. But I will say one thing. The games that I have, again, chipping away at Pokemon, chipping away at Luigi's Mansion, almost done with Luigi. I had to put that down for a little bit because I got back into last Thursday the Super NES and NES games launched for the Switch Online, and I dove back into Crystalis, which is that's one of my favorite action RPGs. It's not a great game by any means, but it's actually just quite basic when you look at from a design standpoint, but it's charming as all hell, and the localization, there are some parts in there where you really wonder what decisions they made, but I love it. Is for what it was on the NES, which kind of came out I don't even know how late in the NES's life it came out, but the plot was very mature and had a lot of complexity to it, because it was about essentially humanity. For anybody that hasn't played it, humanity is, it goes into this nuclear holocaust, and so they erect this tower and try to put all the bad stuff in there as this floating tower, and then all the poor schmucks left on the planet are left to deal with themselves, except for all of a sudden the Messiah, wakes up out of a cave and has to go on this journey to get back up to the tower and try to restore balance, because he had all the elite kind of went up in the tower, and the bad people went up there, and the evil, and you got it's got elementals, it's got different types of weapons. It's like a Zelda / Final Fantasy in a weird way, and there's a lot of cool layers, really interesting NPCs, even though you're seeing the same stamped copy paste stamp NPC in all the different towns and stuff. But there's playing it now, really getting in it now for the first time in several years. I used to play it a lot in like elementary school and junior high and high school, and then I kind of stopped because you didn't have a lot of access to it. It came out for the
Game Boy Color.
Game Boy Color. I didn't get a chance to play it on that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And that was like it was a different version. I'll say that. But it came out for the SNK Classics last year, I think it was, for the Switch, or earlier this year or something. Yeah. I didn't get a chance to pick it up. I'm kind of bummed. Haven't bought that yet.
It's a really good set.
I've heard that too.
I'm impressed with that set. Like,
well, that was
it's cool getting the console version with the arcade version. Like, and be able to switch.
Totally.
Actually, my favorite part is being able to watch like a good play of it
and stop
and then jump into it. Yeah.
And that that group has done. I think it's Mike Mika and his team have done a lot of the translations and a lot of different or a lot of the ports for these collections on all different games, and it's they've done a phenomenal job with doing that type of it's playing. You can jump in whenever you want and do things like that. And it's spilled over into, like, I think some of the NES games you can do, or some of the Nintendo's games you can do that too, right? On the something Nintendo Pop. Anyways, great game. Crystalis is so good.
1997, October 1st, the end day.
The end day, yeah, we've survived.
I'll never forget
call it the end day.
Speaking of 1997, we actually forgot to mention that the long lost Blade Runner Westwood game released on GOG this week.
Yes. Yeah, I might have to pick that up. I'm totally, because that people were talking about that, and then I think like
$10, no brainer, get it.
Yeah, totally. A couple months ago, somebody mentioned that, like, it bubbled up weirdly again in like the news, and somebody mentioned that they think they may have found some of the code for it, and now it's like it's available. Picking it up.
It's kind of crazy because like that. Obviously they coincided with the timing of the actual movie, so it's like November 29th. Well, it's December, but still, because apparently, and I'm paraphrasing here from what The Verge had on it. As GOG explains on its site, a team of programmers spent 8 years reconstructing the game from retail discs instead of the original source code. Apparently, I think the source code was lost, and they worked with film studio Alcon Interactive Group to legally release it through GOG.
$8.99.
There we go.
What a deal! 10% off from $9.99 to $8.99.
That's crazy.
It's like visually, it's still really cool looking.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to pick this sucker up. Oh, it's so cool! It's back. Yes. That's awesome.
It's just nice.
You wanted that Lion King box set, right? The Best Buy editions are out now.
Yes, I saw that too. I'm thinking, should I get that? Because it's like the old cartridge box type thing.
I got the Sega Genesis version, and it's actually a Sega Genesis case.
Oh, so cool!
Wow. So if you take the foam insert out of it, a Sega Genesis cartridge snaps into it.
That's awesome.
The Super Nintendo one is just a cartridge. So
nice.
I bought a couple of those. Was it Limited Run that made the the Street Fighter ones? And
I've got a couple of the Star Wars ones.
That's cool. That's cool. That's awesome.
And I get all the Neo Geo ones that they put out. Neo Geo.
Well, we'll just do our retro game. What old game are you playing this week, Dolly? It's really what it should be called. But I'm the other game. Surprisingly or unsurprisingly, Death Stranding. No, Mario Kart Tour. On mobile. I am I'm like top tier. Like there's different tiers you can advance. I am
top tier.
I play so much of that game because I've really gotten good at some. You can do like manual drifting as well. I've really gotten good at some of that stuff. It's got daily challenges. Actually, the daily challenges are kind of weak. Like you can knock those out in one race. But I don't know what it is about that. It's like kind of mindless racing because you have all the different cups that rotate at the bottom. So you clear enough stars, and then the next set of cups opens up, or the next set of races opens up. There's like 4 races per cup, and you only have like 5 or 6 different courses, and they just sort of rotate over and over again in different cups. But I don't care. It's a very easy, nice time suck.
Racing games are my like comfort game.
Me too.
I don't know what to play. I'll boot up a Forza or something.
And what I like about the only problem
Mario
with
Kart,
the only problem with Mario Kart Tour is that you have to be connected to the network at least initially to log on and race, because that would be perfect. in the office toilets where we don't have Wi-Fi, where it doesn't reach. I would love to just sit there and play solo Mario Kart, but it doesn't control great. Obviously, you're using touch screens and you're kind of doing some stuff here and there. But I don't know what I've put a ton of freaking time into that stupid game, and I haven't put a single penny into it. But
everyone has that mobile game that they realize isn't good. Like I play WWE card like every day. It's not a good. It's a bad version of a card battling game. But here I am getting my daily login bonus. Playing a few rounds.
That's me too. I have a page. I don't know how you guys do it, but I have a page in my iPhone that's apps that I need to do daily logins in to get free shit. Wow. From let's see, it goes. It's Pokemon Go, Pocket Camp, Dragalia Lost, Pokemon Quest, which I'm not doing anything in Pokemon Quest except my daily login. Fire Emblem Heroes, Pokemon Rumble Blast. It seems like all Nintendo games. Let's see. Yeah, Mario Kart. I have Gears Pop. I have the South Park game and a few others. It's like one page of just stuff that I just tap through them when I wake up in the morning, get the daily bonus, and then that's it. I don't think I'll open them again.
Dali Demowski is the answer to the age-old question of, do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, seriously. But that's it. That's all I've been playing. And that's all we've been doing as a staff is just kind of recovering from the Game Awards and getting ready for the holidays. And we'll be putting together, a few of us will be putting together our top 5-ish games of the year. That's always a fun little list. And I think we'll do, maybe within the next couple of weeks, we'll do kind of our big prediction. Maybe next week. Maybe it'll be like right after the holidays next week. We'll see. Thursday or something.
Do we have one more podcast for the year?
Yes. Yeah, it'll probably be... We'll figure out a good day. I'm off for the next 2+ weeks after this week.
Ooh.
So, but yeah, definitely we'll do another podcast. And that might be our predictions show and some of our favorites from this year, and then predictions for next year.
I was gonna say we should also if we ever have time, that spread that cast a little bit of it, at least talking our game of the decade.
Oh, it's a great idea. We did a little. Were you with me, JJ? Were you with us when we did the with Aaron? We did kind of the game of.
Yeah, we talked a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great idea. Maybe we'll do that. Yeah, I like that. I mean, there's not going to be a lot of stuff bubbling up in the beginning of the year. Although I will say one
that
thing.
March-April window,
it's going to be crazy. Gaming wise, it's going to be horrific. It's end of February too, because there's a couple things right at the tail end of February. But I'm getting the weird vibe that Microsoft threw that Series X down there because we know that Sony's probably going to do the same February reveal of the PS5 type of thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get, get the news that this is the date that we're going to launch. We're going to announce the PS5 type of stuff at the beginning of January somewhere.
Is that when they did it with the PS4? Was it really?
They did it February. Yeah, it was a third week of February or something.
Wow. Completely forgot about that.
I don't think they'll wait till E3 for PlayStation.
No, they got to build the hype before that.
They got to build the hype before that, and so
I forget what they call their directs. What the PlayStation Direct?
It's just a PlayStation event. State of Play. That's what it is.
State of Play. There we go.
Yeah. I think it's always going to be a juggle for them because I think unlike, and I'm trying to think, I don't think there are any major Xbox titles coming to the Xbox One in the next year or so.
No,
whereas
Halo, that's basically.
But they said that was coming only to Xbox Series X. I was going to call it Scarlet, but it's Xbox Series X. Whereas Sony has to juggle the hype for the PS5 and still manage to sell The Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima.
Yep. And Dreams, right? Dreams is coming out at the beginning of January or February as well, right? Don't forget Dreams is a thing.
And I hesitate to put Ghost of Tsushima in that same vein. The only reason why I do is because I always get reminded that it's made by Sucker Punch, and Infamous is it's just so good.
I miss it.
So do I. Yeah, that we said.
The fact that they haven't nobody has put out 1 and 2 on the PS4 is weird.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Made that collection. You know what you might see the rest of this year for Sony for the PS4 is instead of new games, they may start throwing out some of these little collections. Like Nintendo is pretty famous for doing that, like for filler. I'm really surprised Sony hasn't done it. Nintendo will be like, "Hey, we got nothing going on. Let's remake report Captain Toad's Adventure," or like last year or earlier this year they did New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe at the beginning of the year, and that thing is like still one of the highest selling games of the year.
You know that they're sitting on just ready to hit go for like those HD Zelda games at any second.
Yeah, that's like their Zelda games and the Metroid Prime trilogy collection.
Yeah.
Metroid other.
Now that you mention this, kind of makes it. They should have done it in a way that like Spyro, Medieval, Crash, Team CTR, all that comes out in the summer of next year as opposed to this year. But
like I said, it could be the maybe this next year to fill some things in and just take some of those PS2, PS3 games and throw some collections out there. Because you're right, people would rebuy Infamous. They would rebuy some of those other, those PS2 games.
It's increasingly hard for PlayStation 4 owner having a PlayStation 3 at the ready to play Infamous 2 unless you have PlayStation Now, because I think those are on PlayStation now. But
for
who
all
has
intents and purposes,
now?
For as much as we we rag on Nintendo for not understanding backwards compatibility when it came to things. The Switch, they've done a good job of just re-releasing games on the Switch that were on the Wii U. Like, we're almost at all the Wii U like the Wii U games that matter.
The people would want, the things that people were interested in have shown up. Like,
It hasn't happened with the PS4 because you have stuff trapped on the PS2 and the PS3 that are never coming to the PS4.
You can only play Metal Gear Solid 4 on a PlayStation 3.
It's insane.
That's insane to me.
It has to do with that cell architectures that they tried to make the thing for the PS3 and just could never go. And had to revert back to I forget what that architecture is.
So you heard it here first. Infamous Collection.
If it comes out, just play the lottery because we mentioned it. Well, gentlemen, it has been an awesome show. It is. We knocked this sucker out in about an hour, which is good. I'm surprised we were able to get an hour's worth of material out of nothing.
It's a light. Nothing happened today.
Nothing happened.
Big,
But it's always great to chat with you guys. I'm glad we could get to. Aaron has a little bit of a migraine, so he wasn't able to join us today. Excuse me. As I die of coughing over here.
Yeah.
It's just Aaron just tapping you.
That is Aaron, the ghost of Aaron tapping me. Holy cow. I'm Dolly Domovsky. You can find me at Dolly Domovsky on Twitter, on YouTube, on Twitch. Where can we find you, Rexley?
You can find me on Twitter at Airdude. That is at HEIRDEUX.
JJ?
Twitter at _double_J.
You can find us at sidequesting.com, SideQuesting TV on Twitch, at SideQuesting on Twitter. I think we're SideQuesting TV on YouTube. And that's it. What's that? And Twitch,
Twitch.
So we're on both. We stream this on Twitch now, and I transfer everything over to YouTube. I might do a Restream IO thing down the line once I figure it out. I'm getting there, guys. I'm only like 10 years behind, but we're getting...
Look, the point is you joined.
The point is I joined. It's funny because we've had
As everyone is jumping ship,
everyone's going to Mixer.
We're going to Facebook Live next, guys. Yeah. Holy shit, we should do every day next week we'll do a different streaming thing. We'll do YouTube one day, we'll do Twitch, we'll do Facebook, we'll do the Instagrams, we'll do a Periscope, maybe we'll do a TikTok or something. That's it. Thank you everybody for joining us. We'll see you on the next side quest. Bye-bye.
Bye.